what you have in store for me.
Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And my co-host is
Joseph Spencer.
And today what we're going to talk about is something, because what we try to do on this show is talk about things that most people don't want to talk about. And it's important. And we're going to entitle this video, Black Folks, Stop Calling the Police on Your Family. Now, what I mean by that is this, but before I say this, I'm going to say this because I don't want nobody to think that I'm picking on the police, because I'm not. You know, the average police officer gets up every day and serves and protects the community, and we're very thankful for you guys protecting our neighborhood and keeping us safe. Now, there are, of course, always going to be some bad apples in any situation where you're a police officer, a postman, or whatever, that you're just not compliant to how you're supposed to act. But we are, not talking about the hardworking, honest, I go to work and do my job well, and law enforcement people. So the reason why we said this topic as far as please stop calling, Black folks, please stop calling the police on your family members, because I know things changed. And when I was growing up, it was real simple. Anything personal that was in our family stayed in our family. We didn't call the police and send them out to deal with our family members an issue. That's totally different when you do honestly believe that your life is at risk or, in danger. But for you men, now for the women, I understand that your son is 6 feet tall, 240 pounds.
And black.
Yeah.
Cold black.
Right, but you men, you need to check your kids and keep your children in line, because there's some people, and here's the situation. There was a news story in Chicago, I think this might have been several months ago, where this man called the police on his son who was having some type of mental episode. He called the police, then the neighbor that lived in the building opened the door for the police when they came, and she was immediately shot and killed. Then they shot and killed the boy because they say, oh man, young man, because he's willing to bat. Now, what most people don't realize is this. When you're in the academy becoming a police officer, you've been taught and trained to do this. When that gun comes out that holster, it's to inflict deadly force. Not shoot you in the arm, shoot you in the leg. So when you see that gun out, it becomes that serious. So again, most of us don't know that. But again, when we were kids, or when we were growing up, Joe and I, the deal was this. Father said this and grandfather said, and they meant it. I'm going to keep you in line. I don't care how old you are at this point. I brought you in this world. I'm going to take you out. But you got some people that, they haven't done a good job with their kids. And then here's another issue. And I'm going to get a little winded here, and then I'm going to turn it over to Joe, because it's important for me to give you all this at once. So it's important, if you have a child that has a mental issue, get proper professional treatment. Because I'm going to share a personal story with you, and this is why the topic is so near and dear to me. In my household, there was 10 kids. It was 6 boys, 4 girls. Now, unfortunately, just due to the law of average, everybody didn't turn out right. Most of us are healthy, got good jobs, good families, but 2 of my family members fell by the wayside by no fault of their own. One of my oldest brothers was a victim of lead poisoning, because in the 60s they used to lay deadly paint or deadly lead in the wall on the paint, and the paint chimps off, cracks off onto the floor, and little kids put everything and anything in their mouth. And my brother was a victim of that. He suffered brain damage at the age of like 4 years old. Now has the mentality of a 6-year-old. My mother took care of him until she couldn't take care of herself. She passed away. I have a sister, one of my oldest sisters. In high school, she started to have issues. She started to say that she was hearing voices. And as I got older, I realized the condition is schizophrenia. Mm-hmm. And I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys is dealing with that issue. I can't imagine hearing voices in my head, and they're telling me to do things. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. And one day my mother told me that she woke up in the middle of the night and my sister was standing over her with a knife. And my mother talked her off down, so to speak. And some people said, why didn't you call the police? And my mother made this statement, and I'll never forget it, Joe. She said, I would have rather had my daughter kill me than I call the police and have the police kill her. Because she understood that my sister had issues, and we was always trying to get her to have the best professional care because that's not something you can do it in your house. You know, you got to go to the doctor. They got to diagnose you, perhaps give you proper medication, kind of make your life a little better as far as quality. You know, so people that have these types of issues with their children, seek professional care. Don't call the police because the police are not psychologists or psychiatrists. The only thing they could do is either lock you up or take you out and put you somewhere else. Because years ago, what policemen used to do when you called them and say, hey, I got somebody here to having mental episodes, they would come and knowing already when they're on their way how to deal with this because they know what they're dealing with. And properly restrain you, not shoot and kill you, and then take you to a hospital facility. Now, unfortunately, they take you to jail because back in the 50s, there used to be hospitals, whole hospitals, geared towards treating people with mental illness. Now, all of a sudden, unfortunately, it went from an entire big building to a wing in one building, and then a room or floor in one hospital. You know, so they've cut down on the facilities for these unfortunate people to go to get treated. You know, and you know that's why it's very important that we don't just wimp out and call the police and let them handle this because they don't know what they're getting into when they come. Sometimes they don't know how to deal with this other than using deadly force. So that's why it's important for us, especially as Black folks, that if you have a child that's dealing with mental issues, please get them the proper professional care. Because the solution is not calling the police on 911, you know. So turn over to Joe.
When I was
what
a
are your
kid,
thoughts?
the mental thing in the police, they literally would send out the guys in the white jacket first.
Yep, I was just thinking that today.
And the police came there for backup.
There you go.
You know, I found out later that these guys, I used to think they were just ambulance drivers, but they weren't. They were trained nurses.
Yeah.
You know, and like I watched that whole thing degenerate between the 50s and the 70s and 80s. And I've had incidents in my house where when I was a kid, my sister got hold of a shotgun and said she was going to kill everybody in the house with me. You know, the police wasn't called. My uncles came over.
And talked it down.
And she left. You know, the shotgun wouldn't fire.
Oh, okay.
She shotgun. The shit was deep. I was about 8, 7.
Because let me just interject and you can continue. It's unfortunate that the guy that called the police and triggered these series of events
I'm trying to work up to that.
as a result of that innocent woman who had nothing to do with it. She wasn't even related to these people. She was just living in the building and opened up the door and got shot by the police. And unfortunately, there were no charges given towards that officer.
No.
I'm like, the worst case scenario is, of course it was an accident. He didn't come there with intentions on killing, especially an innocent bystander. But the worst case scenario is he should at least got fired. Because when you make that monumental mistake,
2 people.
you shouldn't be working. This ain't your profession. You know, this is a major mistake.
But when you live in a society where I don't care if you're Black or white, and there's a big Black man. For some reason, they feel that big Black men are more dangerous than brown-skinned Black people or light-skinned Black people. I guess we look like King Kong to certain people. I know some people who are Black that are scared of real dark, huge men.
And that's a good point.
Yeah,
you know, because like you said, the layers and the shades of your skin really kind of sometimes depend on the quality of how you're going to be treated by others and how you your misconception of you because of your complexion. That's a good point. You're right.
We have it in our heads that the darker a Black person is in the United States, the darker, the more barbaric they are. It comes from the slavery days. You got to be put in chains or killed if he's not in chains. Yeah. So it's a society thing also. And then when you have somebody been brought up that subconsciously, and he becomes a police officer, he sees King Kong.
Because wouldn't you say, agree or disagree, that light-skinned Blacks fare better in this society than dark-skinned Blacks?
They feel that this is a whole deep another subject because this is the way I was brought up. You know, the kinky hair, big lips, it's a whole different subject. Maybe we can do a thing on it, and I'll be specific, straight up when I learn about that Jim Crow shit and skin color and hair.
Yeah. But let us
Yeah.
For the sake of time,
Well,
let's
yeah.
cut. Yeah, because we can go on and want the camera shut off.
And
But we got to go. Sorry, but that camera gonna go away. I just want to say this. You know, we had to do this topic because it's very important that we realize that the family issues should stay a family issue. It shouldn't become a police issue, because when it becomes a police issue, it becomes a whole nother issue, and it can become a very deadly issue. So we thought it was important to touch on this topic because no one talks about this or even think about it. So until next time, take care. My name is Morris Mann. I thank you for coming to my show, and my co-host is Joseph.
Joseph Spencer. Have a
Take
good day.
care and keep thinking.